Alright, for this video, I've come up with 10 brand new game mode ideas for Clash Royale that I'm going to share with you guys. All these game modes range from being fun to chaotic to having some strategy involved with them, and I believe that they can all find a spot in the current game. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the first game mode. Okay, for our first game mode, so I actually don't have a name for this one, so if you have a name for this one, comment it down below because I want to hear you guys' ideas. But essentially, you get one card from each elixir level from 1 to 7, including the mirror. So everyone's gonna have a mirror in their deck, and they're also gonna have one card from 1 elixir, 2 elixir, all the way up to 7. I like this game mode because it encourages like deck building and being unique and having fun with it. Okay, so similarly to the last game mode, this game mode uses cards of the same elixir level. So you can see on each deck, they consist of all cards from 2, 3, 4, and 5 elixir. I don't think there's enough cards to do 1 elixir or 6 and up. So these are the main ones, and I think it would probably be between 3 and 4 elixir have the most amount of cards that you can use. This is another fun game mode that also orients around deck building, so I like this one. Personally, I think this one's a good fit for the game. Alright, this third game mode might actually be my favorite one on this list. So both players start by building their own decks. You could use any card in the game, but every 90 seconds, players switch their decks around. So player A switches to player B's deck, and player B switches to player's A deck. I think this is a great idea. It causes chaos. There's no matchups because you have the same amount of health in the tower when you switch. The game pauses and you guys take like 10 seconds to switch your decks. And since the games last for 3 minutes, that means that you get 2 swaps before overtime. And if it does go into overtime, you get the whole 2 minutes for your same deck that you started with. I honestly think that Supercell can definitely get away with using this game mode. It's just so unique and fun. Like, who would complain about doing this deck? You don't get matchupped because if you have hard counter, then you get the hard counter next game. And you also have to use different decks. So, I don't know. I think this one's really fun, to be honest. Alright, I couldn't really find a good picture for this one, but I call this one the Dark Mirror game mode. And essentially, both players start with this unique card in their deck, called the Dark Mirror. The Dark Mirror allows you to mirror your opponent's last card for 1 elixir. So, if your opponent plays a golem in the back, you can then mirror it on your side for 1 elixir. If your opponent plays skeletons in the back, you can mirror it for 1 elixir. This is another one of those like chaos themed game modes where it's not much skill or strategy involved. It's kind of just place and hope for the best. Like your opponent could play 3 musketeers for 9 elixir and then you play it in the back on your side for 1 elixir. I like this game mode a lot too because it could involve some strategy. Like let's say you go to place a P.E.K.K.A. and you know your opponent's going to mirror it. All you do is place their P.E.K.K.A. and then place skeletons in the back or something, and then your opponent mirrors skeletons and then they waste their Dark Mirror. I think this is just another fun game mode on this list. Alright, this might be the most simple game mode on this list, but it's just the double champion challenge. This game mode allows you to use 2 champions in your deck along with the 2 evos that you already get. I don't know, I was thinking about game modes for this list and this one kind of came up because it would be fun to have 2 champions in the deck. It would cause a 2 card cycle opposed to a 3 card cycle that's already broken. So that could be fun for the game. It could also switch up the pace of the game and allow for some crazy outplay potential, which I think could be really fun for the game. I don't really have much for this game mode. It's pretty simple. You get 2 champions in your deck. That's pretty much it. Alright, for our 6th game mode, I have another simple but interesting one. So I named this one All Cards on Deck, and all it is you start with every single card in your starting hand. You don't have a cycle. You get to play any card at any time with the same elixir bar. You still get 0 to 10 elixir, but you can play any card at your choice. So if you want to play Hog Rider 3 times in a row, you can do that. If you want to Log and Fireball and Ice Spear all at the same time, you could do that. If you want to place 5 Ice Golems at the bridge at the same time, you could do that. There's no cycle involved. You just have every card at your disposal, place it whenever you want. It can allow people to abuse certain cards that are overpowered, and it makes it hard to count cards because you can't. You can count elixir, but you know, if you have every card available, like you can easily defend and attack it. I don't know. This one seems very fun and very easy to implement into the game. So Supercell, if you're watching this, please make it happen. All right, this next one's for all my gamblers out there. So if you're a gambler, shout out to you, man. So this next game mode is called Card Roulette, and it's meant to be more of a luck-based game mode more than a skill-based game mode. The way it works is when you place a card, there's a 50-50 chance that the card either places or doesn't. In this example, we have a Dark Prince coming down. I decide to place a cannon, and for this example, it places. The Dark Prince gets countered, and no hits are done. In this other example, pretend I had a cannon in hand, and it doesn't place. Well, guess what? Dark Prince connects to my tower, and that's the luck factor. Between the two, One obviously was a better outcome than the other. So the way it works is if your card places, nothing happens. Your card places, you use the elixir, whatever. If your card does not place, that card then goes back into your cycle and you can't place it again until it comes back in rotation. There's two ways you can go about it. To make it really annoying, what you do is you don't give players their elixir back. So let's say you play cannon and it doesn't drop, you lose 3 elixir. The other way you can go about it is if you play your card and it doesn't place, well then you get your 3 elixir back. Kind of like when you pop into a champion ability and it doesn't go down in time, you just get the elixir back. This game mode is meant to be more annoying than anything, which is why I think it's a great fit for this video. It's the only game mode in this list where luck is the key factor and skill is not really as important. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this one because I think it could be really, really fun. And there could be some skill involved. Maybe you play 2 cards at the same time or you try to play multiple cards. I don't know. I think this one could be a really, really fun game mode. And not one that's meant to be used in like tournaments or competitive play, but rather just for fun, a fun challenge. I call this one Card Game, which is a play on words to Gun Game, the game mode from Call of Duty. So for this game mode, players are given 4 card spots to use. You only get 4. And actually, you only get 3 realistically, because for the 4th one, you have your win condition, aka the card that you have to get to the tower. The way to win this game mode is you have to get your 4th card. So in this example, I have Hog Rider, Lava Hound, and Giant. You have to make them connect to the tower in order for you to cycle to the next card. So if Hog Rider gets a hit on any sort of tower, you go to the next card, which is Lava Hound. And they go from easy to harder cards to get to. In this game mode, it's all about cycling your cards and not actually about winning the game. If you 3-crown your opponent, you automatically win still. However, if you have more damage on the enemy tower, yet they cycled more cards than you, you actually lose the game. It's whoever can cycle the most cards. And like I said, you cycle a card by getting it to hit the tower. So Hog Riders can only hit towers. If it swings even a Tombstone or Inferno Tower, any sort of tower, it counts as a cycle and you get your next card. There are no mirrors or champions in this game mode. Also, if time runs out and players are both on the same card, it goes down to whoever has the most damage on the towers, just like in a normal game mode. I think this one, if done properly, could be super fun and a permanent game mode. I could see it being used for a global tournament. I could see it being used for anything, honestly. And one that could stay in the special game mode tabs, honestly, forever. Most of these game modes on this list, I could see Supercell leaving in like a specials game mode list. Okay, this game mode is another simple one. I know I keep saying that they're simple, but this one is very simple. Basically, you load into the game and you choose between all of the cards, 2 cards to ban that your opponent cannot play. So how it works is you go into a game with a pre-built deck. All 8 cards that you use are not banned. I don't know. I think if they splash a little bit of more game modes into the mix, when you load into the game, your opponent can then ban 2 cards out of your deck and they don't know what cards you have. You can do the same with theirs. So you can ban 2 cards. Let's say you're playing Hog Rider and your only air condition is Firecracker. You would probably ban Lava Hound. And then if you don't want to see arrows, you would ban arrows. So how it works is you load into the game with your deck, then get to pick 2 cards to ban. After the 2 cards are banned, you would then get 30 seconds to a minute to edit your deck. Whatever, whatever people decide on is easy enough. After that, you play the game as regular. If the opponent does not ban any cards in your deck, you can leave it as normal. You can still change it. Maybe if you see that they ban a certain card, then you might switch around your deck a little bit to try to predict what they're going to play. But it's simply just, another game mode that I can also see using this in Royal tournaments, because people get sniped and hard countered, and that's not fun. So you can ban your least favorite cards. Also, before we get into this last game mode, let me know down below which game mode you would like to see added to the game, and also share your ideas. Maybe I'll make a part 2 for this video. Who knows? So for our final game mode of this video, we have the 2 times game, I guess. Not to be confused with double elixir, this game mode is 2 times everything. So from time on the clock to deployment time to card speed to hit speed, everything is in twice the speed. So imagine the game is played in 2 times speed as for this example. Every single card interaction happens twice as fast. The clock ticks twice as fast. Everything moves as fast, hits as fast. Everything is twice as fast as normal. This is kind of like a blitz game mode for most games where everything is just a faster version of the game. I think this game mode can be really fun with using different decks. Like in this game here, we have Elixir Golem where like every interaction, you have to be twice as fast to stop it, to counter it. Like everything happens very, very fast. You got to be like lightning quick to stop it. Like you'll see here in this example, the drill is going to come down. It's going to be down in 2 seconds. So here it comes, 1, 2. Drill is on your tower. Like you have to react that fast. Your elixir is twice as fast. Everything is twice as fast. I love the chaos style game modes the most, which is kind of what this one's oriented. I was thinking about ideas and I was watching a replay and it was twice as fast and it literally clicked to me. Anyways, those are my 10 game mode ideas for this video. If you want to see part 2, let me know down below, and also share some of your game mode ideas. Maybe I'll use them for the next video. Also subscribe, or you'll only get 1-star lucky drops for the rest of the week.